Once again, good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to discuss some documentation terminology which you have find in your day-to-day practice. You have listened somewhere where you don't know the actual meaning, and it is an important part of communications. So there is a different types of documents available as we are discussing each of that here. That is a basically documentation terminology. Documentation you should understand what documentation is like. It should be letter. Sometimes it may be letter. Sometimes it may be minutes of meeting. So I have discussed all. I have studied or whatever I have gone through so many books and I found it. What I can discuss here. So here I discuss about 32. You can say that's documentation. Number one is a letter. Everybody knows what is letter. Everybody writes letter to someone, and all of you have written letter to someone or another one. It may be any type of letter. So letter is a written, printed, or typed personal communication. A document is a written statement, etc., constituting the authority for a particular action, states, privilege, etc. You're getting my point. So there's a I think you understand letter. There is nothing more to discuss. Then second is a newsletter. The second documentation you can newsletter. What is newsletter? A printed paper usually issued periodically containing information of interest to a particular profession, section of the community or a pressure group. A newsletter like for CA there is a newsletter, for doctors there is a newsletter, for lawyers there is a separate newsletter which provide information about their professions. So this is one type of documentation we can say. Then third is newspaper. Everybody know newspaper. A printed publication usually published daily or weekly. There is a newspaper is also daily, weekly, fortnightly also. Fortnightly means 15 days. Which reports the latest news of current event and offers opinion on them. Opinion you can find in editorial. You can their editor share his opinion about particular topic. Then bulletin. What is bulletin? A short official statement of news, a periodical publication. That is called bulletin. News bulletin also sometimes you have seen a news bulletin is there. So there is bulletin related to some news you can say. Then pamphlet. Pamphlet is what is pamphlet? A small printed publication shown or stitched as a paper covered booklet. You're getting comprising an every or treatise of a controversial topical nature. Understood now? Pamphlet. Printed publication is there. Okay. Then small printed publications, often just a folder containing information literature. It is a pamphlet. Then book. Everybody know book. A number of printed pages fastened together. Fastened is binded together and enclosed in a cover a literary composition. A treatise, a measure unit of literary composition. This I think everybody know about books, but it's also one type of documentation because book is written. Booklet, printed pages, a book of not very many pages. It should be some thin pages are there, not very some number of pages like 10, 15, 20. Not very many pages, usually in paper covers. You getting my point? Then periodicals. What is periodical? Periodical, a magazine, etc., published at regular intervals. Just like a magazine, you can say is a periodical. They say in regular interval, they like weekly, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, whatever decided by the publishers. They publish it. It is called periodicals. Magazine, a paperback periodical publication of writings of different authors, often illustrated and with advertisement. It is magazine. There are magazines there, advertisement is also there in magazine. Periodicals, there is no advertisements. You getting my point? It may be, it's not a topic type of differentiation I am discussing. Publication, a publication or being published, the issue of printed matter for public sale or free distribution, a printed and published book, magazine, pamphlet, etc. It can be admin magazine. So there is a publication. There is a journal, a record events, personal experiences, thought, etc. Kept day by day, a daily record business, transaction in double entry book, keeping a newspaper or magazine published at regular intervals. That is called journal. An account of proceeding of a learned society. Journal for medical journal, that is there for management also. There is a medical journal, Harvard Business Journal. So many journals are there. Medical you can find, so British journals, so American journals of medical. So many journals are there. So they are particularly related to professions. And journalism, from their journal, the term has come, journalism, the profession of collecting news for writing or editing or managing a newspaper or other periodical of journal. Okay, just I have discussed, because journalism is the journalist, a professional writer or editor of a newspaper for other periodicals. So just because journal has come, so I have discussed the journalism and journalist. Journalist is a basically is a person who do this profession. Journalism is a, you can say it's a noun, you can say use as a noun. Then proceedings. What is proceeding? You have heard this word very commonly. The act of someone who or something which proceeds the course of action. Transactions or negotiations, a record of the activities of a body or organization, the proceedings of the meeting. Meetings is also there is proceedings, they happen day by day. Then related to minutes, there is a one more documentation, you can say minutes of meeting. I think you have heard very commonly this word, all, because every industry, if you are you are a part of a corporate world, whatever the industry you are, it may be on pharma, finance, whatever industry you are, there is a meeting and there is always minutes of meeting. You get a mail also from your superiors. So these are the minutes of meeting which has been discussed point wise. It's a written record of a decision, etc. made at a meeting. A short written communication giving an instruction, making a recommendation. Getting my point? Generally, this is all happening in meeting. Presenting an analysis. Basically, they are also sometimes presenting analysis also. What has been done, as per your, it may be from your performance or whatever caused the meet. It may be any launch meeting. All will be part of a minutes of meeting. Reports. Report, everybody knows, like any marketing, they are having sales report, they are having daily reports, they are daily call reports, and so many reports are there. To give, basically, what does it mean by report? To give information about, relate what one has seen or heard, to repeat a message, to register a complaint about someone in authority. Complaint is also, na, used to find police report, people say, if anything has done, they put a FIR. What do you mean by FIR? First information report, something like this, that term is there. The report is it also that term. Then thesis. Thesis you also heard, in the person who is doing PhD, they do thesis also. How we define a proposition, a reasoned argument in a written dissertation on a theme conducted with specially by a candidate for any of certain academic degrees. The thesis written in PhD, they are written in the person who are doing MAd, BEd, they also do the thesis. Dissertation I will discuss after some time. You will find out what is dissertation. That is also I will discuss here later on. Hypothesis. What is hypothesis? A idea or proposition not derived from experience but formed and issued to explain certain facts. Example in science, or to provide the foundation or primary assumption of an argument. This is hypothesis. Generally, in medical and pharma industry, or for when any drug has to be taken at trial, so they do some hypothesis. These are, suppose we have this, they do some hypothesis as that I cannot explain here. It will go for another big topic. Then I will discuss dissertation. The 17th point is dissertation. It's a type of documentation. A formal discourse written or spoken, a treatise, especially an originally piece of research written for a doctorate. Generally, the person who do doctorate, they do the dissertation. Synopsis and outline summary, basically summary. So what is synopsis? Is a synonyms of summary. Abstract, a short version of a piece of writing or reports, etc., to make written summary of. That is abstract. This type of summary. Then 20th point is symposium, a group discussion or a collection of published articles on a single theme, a set of spoken or written contribution to a discussion of a single subject. That is called symposium. You must be if you are doing MBA or anything, any product, there is some seminar is there that sometimes called symposium. Seminar is also one word, documentation. Seminar, a group of advanced students working in an association under the guidance of a teacher, a course for meeting of such group. That is called seminar. Different guest article come, they give their presentation, they give lectures. Transactions, something transacted, a business deal record especially published of the proceeding of a learned society. Bank transaction, it's a business deal records, no? Whatever you have taken money, it is also part of a transaction. Trade literature, it is the 23rd point, type of documentation. Provides information about equipment or goods or services pertaining to manufacturers. It is called trade literatures. If you go for a car now, you find catalogs. So that is also trade literature. They are discussing about car, what features they are having. Patents, that is also one documentation. An official paper confirming a right, privilege, etc., especially one issued by a government guaranteeing an inventor and his or hires exclusive rights over an invention, process, etc. Patent can be process, patent can also be there for invention also. There like pharma, generally they give for 20 years and another company cannot copy it, the same molecule or the same process. If they are taking it, they have to pay royalty for the original companies. So patents are there. There is also different laws, but just for understanding it, what is patents? Standards, measure of designation of quantity, measure of designation of quality, consisting a list of specification which carries an index of uniformity. That is called standards. Bibliography, you must heard this word, bibliography, a complete list of written work, a list of book on a particular subject, a list of references at the end of a book, history of books, authorship, edition, etc. You have final lastly after book there are so many things mentioned, we have taken this part on there. That is all bibliography. Monograph, a treatise about a single subject or aspect of subject. Single subject they are discussing, that is monograph. Treatise, I am using so many words. What is treatise? Treatise is a written study of a particular subject, deal with systematically and thoroughly. It is called treatise. Profile, what is profile? Side view, brief biography, that is called profile. Preface, author's explanatory remarks at the beginning of a book. Any book you see, there is a preface is there. He discusses about the journey of this book, why is this book written, to whom he is devoted, anything discussed, this is all preface. Biography, what is biography? Person's life history written by an author, that is called biography. There is another term, that is autobiography. Autobiography is story of a person life written by himself. Suppose I write book for me, that is called be autobiography, but I am written a book for some other person, so that is called biography. There is a small difference. I think you must be knowing this. So this there I discussed almost 32 types of documentation. I think you have liked this video, that is informative to you, and if you liked it, then share this video with your friends. And till now you have not subscribed this channel, to subscribe it, and you will get a notification for my coming videos also. So that is all for today. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thanks.